Alright, so where was I? The kids interrupted me. So I have two different tools. I have this tool and I have one of these pens you can buy. You can buy these at any craft store. You can buy them online. There's a lot of online sources to buy these things. And I'm just going to, when I pulled it up, here's the front that I was poking on through the cookie cutter. And here's the back. See how fuzzy that is? I hope I'm holding it in the right area. So you're just going to begin, and the multiple tool is good for this. You just want to kind of poke the edges. You want to be careful when you're poking the edges, though, to not lose the shape of the piece. And I can already see with this cookie cutter has these round ridges for the sheep, and I can see now you're going to lose that. You can put it back in though, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm just going to poke all around, clean it up, clean up the little feetsies here. Get that fiber off of me. I'm just going to keep poking until I've got this somewhat cleaned up. A friend of mine, Susie, suggested making two cookie cutters and of the same design, filling them with acrylic and then felting them together. I'm going to show you what happened with that. It worked, but my skull, seriously, it turned into a little ghosty, a weird ghosty. But it did work, and it's kind of cute, and I'm anxious to try it again. So I'll leave him here so you can stare at him. No, he's too scary. I better move him off to the side. Alright, I've got this a little more controlled, so I'm going to take my 38 and I'm going to begin to refine this a little bit. Move this off. One of the things I've seen over and over again, a good rule of thumb when you're not needle felting, is to park your needles. It's really easy to put them down and forget and pick them up and drop it. The other thing is, you really need to learn, if you're going to do this in front of a TV, to not watch TV, to only listen to it. And in your felting kit, you might want to keep some Band-Aids. I don't know about you, but I definitely have gotten poked. And I've definitely bled. Not a lot. You might want to keep some Neosporin too. Okay, if you see I'm picking this up and doing the sides, just make sure your hands at all times are out of the way. If your hands can't be out of the way, use a needle, use a skewer, something to hold it for you. Like I said, I'm just cleaning this up and trying to get some shape to it. Let's put the cookie cutter in front of me so I can remember what the shape looked like. That does help. I'm going to put this down in the end, kind of point the nose a little bit, the snout, whatever they call it. I don't know, is it a snout on a sheep? I don't know, I'm not a farmer. I have played one on TV. Okay, that's a lie. The last time I was on TV, I was going to say was on the Bozo show when I was a little girl, but that's not true. Our news channel came into our knitting group, our Thursday night knitting group, and put their microphone in the middle of our table, gave us a topic, and just let us go. Me and my friend Ev came out looking like a couple of idiots, but it was fun. think at one point it was on YouTube. I don't know if it still is. Not real thrilled with the way his little Tootsie is coming out. So here's the point where I'm going to add just a little bit of this black. And I'm just going to take it and attempt a little wraparound. Okay, this is silly. What I really need to do first is, if you can see that, I'm kind of poking it in place in a way that kind of gives me a third hand. I'm going to wrap some around the back, poke it into place. Just a couple of quick pokes and it will hold for you. This is the part where, because my fingers are so close, I'm really being careful with this needle because it really hurts. Duh, of course. I don't think I really need to explain that a needle poking into your flesh hurts. Alright, I'll do the other leg later. I could wrap this around the back if I wanted it to be two-sided. I'm not going to today. But I am going to take a little bit of this black. I'm going to take very little. And all I'm doing is stringing it out, folding it over. And I just want to make... And I'm going to put it real close to the head. And I'm just carefully poking it in and shaping it at the same time. And I'm just making a little ear. Alright, I'm attempting to make a little ear. I am going to wrap a little bit more around the head because I don't like it. Now that I've added the ear, I see that this needs a little bit more black. One of the things I've learned about needle felting is it is kind of like sculpting. It is sculpting. Sculpting with felt. Again, my fingers are really close, so I'm being really careful. I'm doing really shallow pokes because my thumb is right there. Up on the top to hold it, and then I can get out of its way. So you see, when I first saw this cookie cutter felting, I thought, oh, how fast and easy. You still have to take the time. It's not an instant. If you want it to look nice, it's not an instant felt project. I would say it can be a little faster than other things, but you still have to take time to make it look nice. Unless you don't care. If you don't care, who am I to tell you? You have to. I'm just trying to get some black up close to the ear so the ear and the head look like they belong together. I had a little bit of a separation there, and I wanted it to... Alright. Boop, boop, boop. Now I can just go to town on it. Alright. But you see, I've lost some of the shape of that snout. Did we decide it was a snout? I don't know. So, but I can go back. I can go back and I can put this back down, and by hitting the edge, cleaning up the top, turning it, hitting the edge, and I'm giving it some good pokes here to get that point back. The other thing you can do is take your hands and shape it a little bit. Don't be afraid to play with it with your hands. It's not just the needle that is a felting tool. Your fingers, the warmth from your body, manipulating it and then poking. You see, with just a little bit of work here, I got the snout back. I could put a little tail on. That is my dog out back. If you hear barking, there's probably cars on the road. She thinks she owns our street. Again, I'm just taking this and I'm stringing it out and folding it over, and I'm kind of shaping it in my hands in a teardrop. I'm going to put it down here, and I'm kind of, for lamb's tail, let's go for like a teardrop shape. Pick it up and turn it. It will stick to the foam. I'm going to take this and put it in my hands and roll a little bit. That helps to compact it. I'm trying to decide if I want to make this really felted or leave a fuzzy little tail. Let's leave it fuzzy. It's kind of low down on their little booties. Okay, here's where a needle helps. I'm going to take the 36 because I just want to punch it in place real quick. And now I'll pick the 38 back up. And I'm just kind of shaping it as I go along. Nope, I'm going to stick this in here and go back to the 38. I'm going to put it down to do it. I think that's the best way in order to not maim myself. So I'm just kind of punching halfway down that tail I made, punching it in, and we just got a little, I think I did a little bit too, I'm going to punch it down a little bit more. I think it's, I might have done this a little low. Okay, there we go. We got a little sheep with a tail from a cookie cutter. A little bit of detailing. Oh, I said I was going to show you how to get those bumps back on. Let's take the 36. This is the coarsest needle. And what you're going to do is just starting where you think the humps are, you're just going to push into the edge of your little sheepy. And it creates, you want to go a little onto the body, a little onto the back. To define it. You can do maybe one down here between the legs to give it some shape. One on the little booty. I just want a small one on the booty. I want to really needle out that snout. And I'm going to the edge, and I'm going to the front, and I'm going to the back. And now I got to clean this up. I'm going to take the 42 to do some cleaning. Clean this up. I've got, I want you to see this. Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay, so I've got the ridges back, but it's all hairy and fuzzy and stuff like that. This is what I do. This isn't necessarily as compact as I would make it. Well, it's pretty good, actually. But this is what I do. I take the scissors and I'm running really close to the edge. I'm just like skimming over this sheep. Now here's where I wrapped the foot, and here's where I did not. I wanted you to see the difference. The head is wrapped. It does make it nice, I guess, when somebody turns it over, especially if you're giving it as a gift. I think something like this would be really cute, maybe even with a piece of, doing a little holly and berries on it, and using it as a Christmas gift tag. Well, not a tag, because you don't necessarily want to write on it, although you could felt in their name. That would be cute, and they could use it as an ornament afterwards, so it's kind of like two gifts in one. It'd also be cute if you were giving a baby gift to put outside of a gift bag or your wrapped package, and putting a pink or blue ribbon on it. But I'm going to do a holly leaf, and of course on my desk, this is what I did. I wanted to show you this. I've got all my felt in containers and drawers and stuff, but what I did was I loaded up a box with all different colors in it, so that when I'm doing details, I don't have to pull the entire box or bin or drawer of a color. I could just pick from here and do my details, the small pieces I need. But of course I did not put any green in it. I have a pale green. Alright, so I won't do that. I could put a little pumpkin in his belly and make him a Halloween sheep. Alright, so cookie cutter. And project. What do you think? Cute? Alright. Have a good one. Have fun.